I stopped going to my husband's annual Friendsgiving mountain retreat when I finally realized something. I wasn't a guest. I was the unpaid private chef. It took me 3 whole years to figure it out, which, honestly, makes me so mad at myself. But when you desperately want to be accepted by your husband's oldest friends, you let a lot of things slide. My husband, John, has this super tight-knit group from high school. Every November, 6 couples rent this massive luxury cabin in Aspen. I'm talking a chef's kitchen, a wraparound porch, the whole 9 yards. The first year I went, right after John and I moved in together, I wanted to impress them. I love to cook, so I jumped right in. I made a roasted turkey, from scratch mashed potatoes, 3 different pies, the works. I thought I was just being a good team player. The second year, that was when the trap snapped shut. One of the wives, Emma, literally handed me a grocery list on Thursday night. She gave me this big, sugary smile and said, "We're all gonna hit the slopes tomorrow, but you're just so amazing in the kitchen. You don't mind handling the big dinner, do you?" I said, "Sure." I spent 8 hours on my feet chopping, roasting, and cleaning. By the time they all got back, rosy-cheeked and laughing, I was covered in flour, smelling like garlic, and completely exhausted. John told me I was a lifesaver. I felt appreciated, so I brushed it off. But the third year, that was my wake-up call. It was Saturday afternoon. John and the guys were outside playing touch football. The other wives were on the deck, wrapped in expensive blankets, sipping spiked cider. And me? I was inside, scrubbing a roasting pan while monitoring 3 different side dishes. I looked out the window, saw them all posing for a group selfie, and I realized I hadn't taken a single photo all weekend. I hadn't sat by the fire once. Later, one of the guys walked into the kitchen to grab another beer. He stepped right over a pile of dirty towels, looked at me sweating over the stove, and laughed. He said, "Man, it is awesome having a built-in caterer this year. Really takes the edge off." He didn't ask if I needed help. He didn't even grab me a water. He just took his beer and walked out. On the long drive home, I asked John if he noticed that I basically worked in a kitchen all weekend. He got super defensive. He said, "Well, you're just a natural at it. They really appreciate it." I looked right at him and said, "Do they appreciate me? Or do they appreciate a free private chef?" He got completely quiet. He muttered something about how that's just how the group dynamic works. A month before the next trip, I told him I wasn't going. He freaked out. He said it would cause major drama with his friends. I told him I would only go if every single couple took a mandatory shift cooking and cleaning for 1 meal, so everyone got a break. He looked at me, dead serious, and said, "I can't ask them to do that. It would ruin their vacation." I said, "So, it's totally fine if my vacation is ruined, as long as theirs isn't?" He didn't have an answer, so I stayed home. John went alone. On Friday night, Emma texted me. Did she say she missed me? Nope. She texted, "Hey, John burned the frozen pizzas, and nobody knows how to work the oven. We are absolutely starving here. Wish you were here to handle dinner." Not wish you were here. Wish you were here to handle dinner. When John got home on Sunday, he looked miserable. He complained that they had to eat cold deli meat all weekend. The kitchen was a total disaster, and nobody could relax. I just stood there, looking at him with his heavy bags by the door, and honestly, our marriage hasn't felt the same since.